Hey there guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Less Than Average Gaming and welcome to another Let's Play Badly episode. Today we are taking a look at the brand new release, For Honor. But before I start, I just want to express some issues that I've experienced. This probably won't affect you at all, but it's got me a little bit miffed that a game can launch in a buggy state, which seems to be becoming the norm, but it shouldn't be. It's a little bit annoying. But anyway, for whatever reason, there's a bug in the PC version of For Honor that is preventing users like me from playing in full screen mode. Whenever it is actually set to full screen mode, it'll just automatically revert it back to a window, and it reckons that this is okay. Which means I can't actually record this using Shadowplay, which for me is the least intensive screen recording software. So that means the videos that I'm trying to put out aren't going to be as high quality, they won't look as good, stuff like that. Also, whoever decided the game would automatically max out the Windows microphone volume is just a fucking clown. That's ruined two perfectly good recordings, and also explains why I'm starting from the second level of the story mode rather than the first. Because I've already played the first level of the story mode twice now with different recordings and having it max my microphone volume. I just couldn't handle it anymore. It's just so very annoying. But rant aside, other than those irritating bugs and issues that are mainly essentialized about people recording the game's actually quite good, which when we jump into some gameplay, I'll explain a little bit further.
There are many legions. The Iron Legion is the greatest among them. But in Ashfeld, the Iron Legion was about to be routed. Their commander, Stone, needed an army. Holden Cross sent me.
Blackstone! Where are reinforcements? I'm it. Is this a joke? Open the gate! Lead us out, Blackstone! Good luck!
The battle was already lost. I needed to change that.
Oh god. Kill enemies to help your soldiers push the front. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Okay, so basically, there's a whole bunch of different systems that this game implements. So you'll see an arrow on this guy here, and which that tells me the direction of his guard. So essentially, you have to change your guard based on which way the enemy is going to attack you and which way you're trying to defend from. So if I want to attack this guy, try and get him with a heavy attack, followed up with a couple of light ones. Yeah, basically, it's a different system to something that you would have seen in Chivalry. If you played Chivalry Medieval Warfare before, you'll notice that it's not so much about spamming left click as it is about timing and getting the right timing and the right direction to actually block from. It's actually way more in-depth than anything that I've actually ever played. Like a similar game like this, it's nothing. I've never seen something as an in-depth combat system as this in a game like this. So it is more about actual technique than it is about just like trying to cut your foe's heads off with left click and shit like that. So I mean, you can still do that, and it is very satisfying when you do just spam your attack button, stuff like that. But you know, it is also satisfying when you have to take down bosses and stuff to just actually like get it done. You also have a stamina bar, which is a little bit annoying, so you can't just spam your attacks like I was there. You have to be a little bit more tactful than that. But yeah, essentially these soldiers, which I'm just murdering, are basically like creeps, or just, yeah, creeps in a MOBA, something like that. Basically I can just one-hit them without like actually having to lock onto them, target them, stuff like that. But yeah, this game is actually very, very good looking from what I've seen. Like, it's a fantastic game to look at, but it's also a fantastic game to play. Like, everything runs smoothly. It's very reminiscent of something like an Arkham Knight or something like that, in which the attacks and the combos and stuff all just chain together and attack different enemies, and they lock onto targets really, really efficiently. So it does actually have a very smooth combat system, in amongst all the craziness that is what you're seeing on the screen right now. Because yeah, I can just hit right bumper, which I'm playing with a controller by the way. Because the mouse and keyboard scheme is a little bit how would I put it? It's, you have to move your mouse instead of like the right stick, so you get more chance to like react. You're able to react to things better with the mouse, but it just feels a little less smooth than using a controller, which is why I'm choosing to use a controller here.
Warriors rarely see the people their wars affect. The displaced. The murdered.
Of course, there's a dodging system, so you don't want to get too close to your enemies, which is very reminiscent of something like Dark Souls, in which you have to like properly actually aim and time your attacks, stuff like that. There is, of course, nine different. Oh god. Nine different characters slash classes slash roles that you can play. They're all different, and they all have each their own mechanics and attacks that they can use, and they have different weapons and stuff like that. So there is quite a good deal of variety. Holy shit! One more. Ooh, she moves very quickly. If it she or he? Yeah, she, I think.
Killing all the Vikings in this area will claim the garrison for us.
You also get abilities which you can use after doing a certain amount of attacks. Try and take out all these guys first. There is, of course, guys with big shields. Yeah, guys with big shields, big swords, stuff like that, flails. So there's all kinds of different weapons that you can get into and mess around with, and they each act differently in game. And there's also a multiplayer system which I'm going to take a look at a little bit later in probably a separate video, which for the most part involves 2v2s, 3v3s and 4v4s in kind of a domination style mode. So basically the 2v2s and 3v3s are duels, meaning that basically you'll get either paired with a friend or you'll get paired with someone or whatever, and you'll have to duel them. And essentially you got pitted against someone in particular. And it's more strategy that you can think of. So like, you can either gang up on both of them, or you can... I just have to concentrate. This is a game where you do actually have to concentrate quite hard. Get that guy. But yeah, so you can either implement a couple of different strategies. You can just gang up on one person, or you can try and take them on 1v1, depending on what kind of hero you're using. So, plenty of different options to use. But it's more of a tactile game than I thought it would be initially when I was when it first introduced. I was like, man, that game is going to be Chivalry, but with sick graphics. But as it turns out, it is still Chivalry with sick graphics, but not in the same way that I originally thought it was going to be. Love the counter-attack one. So, similar to a fighting game, each different character has different combos that they can pull off. So, with the Warden, which we are playing now, you can use like counter-attacks and swift strike combos, stuff like that, to try and get the... ooh, this... Is that a... Nah, it's one of our guys. Try and just... cut him up quickly. These guys, yeah, they're our guys. We're going to capture one more zone. So this is essentially what I'm talking about with like the Dominion mode. Essentially, this is the 4v4 style mode in which you have to capture points and stuff like that, hold them against the creeps. So it is slightly reminiscent of something like Smite in that regard, in which it is more of a MOBA in that sense, in which there's creeps and stuff like that. So basically a couple of different games in one, so they're trying to pull off. We've got to get up there. We have to get up there and try and sort these guys out. But yeah, you can see what I'm... Oh god, this guy's going to come at me. But yeah, you can see what I'm talking about with the chaining system and how everything's just sort of combos together nicely. In which you can just hammer right bumper and just sort of link loads of attacks together and all sorts of jazz. Okay, let's just get up that ladder. We're not actually doing anything by just standing there chopping those guys away. So for the most part, you're going for the objective, but oh god, Locking onto your enemy, use a heavy attack as the final blow to initiate an execution. Quickly press X or Y to execute heroes. Performing executions will regain some health. There's also a knockback ability, so we're going to try and... Come on. We're going to try and get these guys on the opposite side of me so I can push them off the edge. Get off the edge. There we go. Oh god, we just murdered that guy straight away. Nice, capturing the point here. What else do we have to do? Because this is a little bit different to what the first level was. The first level was pretty simple. You just had to fight your way through some archers and stuff like that, and then basically have a big fight with the boss guy. And he was pretty fucking tough.
We just needed a final push.
All right.
Stone was a conqueror, and one of the best I'd ever seen.
Oh god. All right, we're gonna call in our meteor here. Yeah, about there. Meteor, like an artillery push, whatever you want to call it. I love the animations in this game. They're all so fucking good, man. Oh, apologies. Yeah, the animations in this game are very, very good. I got knocked over. I got knocked over again.
Push them towards the forest.
Nice. Alright, let's get up here. Let's try to take more of these guys out. So they are being a bit of a nuisance at the moment. Oh shit, a cutscene. Here we go, here we go. This is what we're waiting for. Oh no. Guy with a spear. Chick with a spear? Yeah, chick with a spear. Yep. This is gonna be bad. Ooh. But yeah, I tried playing the first level on hard, and the actual boss fight was one of the toughest things I've ever done in a game. Like, seriously, it was nails. Ooh, she got the counter-attack moves. Holy fuck, the spear's insane. Wasn't expecting that. Ah, god damn it. Oh, block, please, dude, block. Spear is too fast. I don't understand how she can still get that combo off when I blocked the first one. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, but she is a little bit more tricky than the other. Yeah, she shouldn't be able to get the second lot of that combo off. But we did kill her, so that was a little bit tricky, but you know. Still not too hard, not as hard as the fucking first one I did. Oh god, don't. You don't have to, man. You don't... Oh my god. He's just neganed him, holy fuck. That was insane.
Not bad, Blackstone. Not bad at all. Pretty sure I could have done it by myself, but...
What a fucking guy. What a fucking baller. That should be the end of the level. I think every level ends. This is very reminiscent of something like the Lord of the Rings games on like the PS3 and PS2 and shit. And like the old ones on PC and stuff. And it is very reminiscent of something like that with his big scenes that you gotta fight your way through and then you fight a boss at the end and it's... So yeah, as I mentioned before, there was some frustrating moments with this game, like the bugs with the recording, stuff like that, but you won't... unless you're recording them, you won't come across anything like that, so you shouldn't have much problem with the game. It does run through Uplay, so if that's a problem for you, you might not like this game. Although you can get it through Steam, and it'll just synchronize with Uplay, so rather than having to buy it through Uplay, stuff like that. Yeah, but so if you want to buy the disc version, it'll go on Uplay, but if you buy the Steam version, you can use Steam, and it'll cross-sync platform, whatever. But yeah, it is a very, very enjoyable game from what I've seen so far, minus the minus my little grievances with it. But what can you really do? You can't do much about that. Of course, I've left the FPS counter at the bottom left to see that the difference in the FPS that makes when I'm using something like OBS when I'm using compared to something like Shadowplay, which is what I should be using, but it doesn't matter. The game's a lot of fun, and you should absolutely check it out. It is a little bit pricey at the moment, so maybe pick it up when it's a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I do actually highly recommend this one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit like and do subscribe if you do want to see more of these ones. I will be doing another video on this showing a little bit of the multiplayer, stuff like that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. This has been Luke from Less Than Average Gaming, and I hope you guys have an above average day. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye!